Welcome back to the Tennessippi States Only Challenge here on Madden 25. As we opened up Season 2 last episode, it started with a pretty good offensive showing, just outside the top 10. Defense was a little bit lackluster, and that is why we are currently 1-2 without a home game. Joe Milton really is showing a lot of promise. He's averaging 300 yards passing per game with about a 2-to-1 touchdown to turnover ratios. Completion percentage also looking really good, 69%. On top of that, the running game also going pretty well with Antonio Gibson averaging just over 4 yards a carry. We're getting a bunch of different guys open. Hyatt, though, is definitely our leading receiver. Knox has got a lot of targets. Metcalf and Moore getting well mixed in. And for the most part, the offensive line doing pretty well. Dylan Parham, though, has been a little bit of a struggle, but really the biggest struggle has been the defense. And that's been just finishing games off, getting that final drive to end the game, to win the game. We haven't seen it. We've seen some tackles for a loss. Odeyingbo has led us in that spot, but we're still not getting that many plays in the backfield. To this point, we have 1 sack. We need to see some improvement there, but we have at least started to force some turnovers. 2 picks for Oren Burks and Alontae Taylor. Now, at the end of last episode, I talked about wanting to improve 2 position groups on this team. First being at linebacker, the other group was at safety. And for the linebacker spot, there was really just one player in Willie Gay, who played at Mississippi State. He's 27, 77 overall, so already would come in as our highest overall linebacker. However, looking at the actual ratings, I don't see anything outside of play rec and awareness that separate him from the players we already have on the roster. The coverage is 66 and 62. That's what most of our linebackers have. And block shed is only at a 71. He wouldn't really be much of an improvement. And we would have to give up a good little bit to actually get him from the Packers. Because if we look at what they're wanting, they're not even wanting to talk. So then looking towards the safety spot, there is Kevin Byard. Problem is, he's 32 years old. He's maybe would be here for 1 season, if we're lucky 2. So giving up a lot for a player that might only be here for this season just doesn't make sense. Instead, we'll continue to let our guys develop, and we'll look to this next draft class to see what our options are going to be. We know there's one off-ball linebacker here in Morgan Pittman. He's 21 years old. Around 2 to 3, I've been able to find linebackers who could start at any point in these drafts. So he could still be a really good option. There is Dockery, but he, based on size, seems to be more of an edge rush. Then a good bit down the line here, a day 3 option in Austin Branch. He's 6'1", 232. That tells me he's an off-ball linebacker in terms of size. So good options throughout this class, which we definitely need. That also will leave more opportunity for a first-round pick, and Ethan Webb, if still available, could be really good for us. I don't know how long Laramie Tunsil's going to play. Maybe Webb, he's an agile type, so he might be able to play guard at 6'5", 305. Additionally, we also might need help at center. Well, there is Jake Miller. He's around 3 to 4, so we've got guys throughout this class. There's also another guy here in Stephon Freeman for the offensive line. So I think it's best we keep all of these picks because we have a pretty good looking, at least from a far out perspective, good looking class. And to help us further improve the talent, we do have a breakout opportunity here for Dayo Odeyingbo, who has done really well for us. Again, he's led us in tackles for a loss, so let's stick with the 2 TFL goal for him. If he could get that, that should be a dev boost, which would definitely help out our interior D-line. And we'll get to see if he can do that with our second divisional game of the season, our home opener. And we are underway. Home opener. We start on defense, as it's going to be a handoff. Bijan Robinson goes nowhere. Already that might be one of the TFLs needed, or extremely close to it. They actually give him half a game. Well, we got a whole game to hit on 2 of those as well. That will definitely help out. Not for Odeyingbo, but just for us. It's DJ Jones with the sack. And already, Colts are faced with a 3rd and long. They need 17. The 40 is the first down marker. as Hurts at quarterback will look to throw. Across the middle, looking for the dump off, he finds his tight end, McBride, a short gain, and on top of it, an injured O-lineman. But as he heads off the field, our offense will head on. A great start from the defense, setting up our offense to start at the 27. Throw deep downfield, and we've got a big strike. Is Hyatt. He's at the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, one play. Your Tennessippi state-only challenge takes the lead. One play is all we need. A fantastic start here at home. We just got to see if we could keep up that momentum. Colts are finally moving the ball here. Their second drive got a 2nd and 8. They get 4 to Tank Dell, needing an extra 3. Well, Trey McBride will do it this time, moving inside the 40, inside the 25. We've played all our games close this year. Would love a dominant victory. Colts trying to level this one. As Hurts goes across the middle, we'll find Marquise Brown. Get him down to the 5 for number 5. 1st and goal. The bunch down to the bottom. Hurts will end up scrambling and throwing the touchdown. Yes, indeed. McMillan held on to that one, and quickly the Colts answer. And in fact, that score would hold for well over a quarter. Now mid-second quarter. Still that 7-7, but Colts are into plus territory. They hand this one off down the middle for Bijan Robinson, who will pick up about the 1st down mark, half a yard shy. Well, following the hot start that we had, that was quickly extinguished by the Colts on their 2nd drive. We're needing our defense to step up here as we get some pressure. Williams, but a near perfect throw to McBride. Good coverage from Dantzler downfield. Breaks it up, leaving 3rd and half a yard. It's a pistol look here. Robinson with the read option. Hurts. He's got the 1st down and a little bit more. Honestly, that's a really good combo back there. Expect to see a little bit more of that throughout as we are approaching the 2.5-minute mark. Hurts dump off throw is caught. Marquise Brown. We're starting to see them attack more of the linebacker and safety group. That's where they'll find their success. It's also the group for us that has the most to prove. As we move inside 2 minutes, it's a split backfield here for the Colts. 2 receivers down to the bottom as well. Hurts going to the bottom, avoids the pass rush and does not get the 1st down. Right steps out, inches short. So we got a 3rd and inches with a spread wide look. Trips up top, one below. Robinson goes out on a route and wide open touchdown. 2nd of the day for McMillan. Colts take the lead. With less than 2 minutes left in this half, we will come out here with the offense to try to manage that clock and our available timeouts. As we go Hyatt, he breaks it to the outside by midfield and scampering out at the 43. He had the big play for us that really got us going to start this game. We've yet to see any big plays since. As we got the rookie tight end in base over to that left-hand side, see if maybe he can get open. Or instead, the double move, we do find Hyatt. He utilizes that frame to box out the linebacker. As we continue on here, things open up for Milton, who will look to rumble. He's outrunning the edge guy and jumps into the end zone. He barely crossed the plane before Battle laid the hit. Joe Milton scrambled touchdown to level this game before half. And on the final play of the 1st half, Marquise Brown finds the end zone. I honestly didn't even think they were in plus side territory. That is unfortunate. So 21-14 as we go through halftime. Good news is we start the half with possession and we're driving, trying to answer back for that late give up. Down the middle, Gibson picks up 3, 7 rushes, 23 yards. Haven't been able to do much on the ground, but really, we're an air it out team with all our different receiving options. As Milton will look to air it out here, he finds DK, who's got the catch and a run down to the 5. Milton's had 2 touchdowns today. Again, he's averaged about 300 yards per game so far. And we need just 9, make that about 13-14 to tie this one up. 2nd and goal, they actually mark him at the 12 or 11.5 with forward progress. As we got DK in motion towards the bottom. Dropping back, Milton throws. High pass. We're down to the 2.5 for now, but there is a flag down. And it's a late hit in on our quarterback. So for sure we'll take that, and not only do we get some more yards, we get a 1st and goal inside the 1. Heavy look though, we go play action. Milton throws and through the hands of one of the backup offensive linemen. Not sure I agree with that call. Would have been cool to call it though. 2nd and goal, we then changed it up to a shotgun look. We still hand it off. Diving Gibson. Over the top of the linebacker, we leveled this game 21-all. But it's these tight back and forth games we have struggled with, and that's exactly what we have here. Heading into the top of the 4th, 21-21, Colts at about the 25 as they go read option, and Hurts fumbles the ball, scooped up by the lineman. Almost the big play we were looking for, instead a gain of 3. The bunch down to the bottom for 2nd and 7. They go play action. Hurts lofting throw has McMillan. He's put on a clinic today. And it's not like we have awful corners. We got a decent group. Empty set with a 1st and goal at the 7. 3 options up top, 2 down below as Hurts is letting that clock roll. Across the middle, knocked away from McMillan. Oren Burks and one other applied the hit. Making it 2nd and goal, still at the 7 with a bunch to the bottom. Marquise Brown up top, and that is where they go in double coverage, tipped away. Not sure if Dantzler or Hilton got the hand on it, maybe both of them. 3rd and goal. As they will continue trying to pass the ball, Hurts scrambles, throws, he finds Trey McBride, but no gain after the catch. Defense bows up inside the 10. Will be a field goal attempt here about the 9.5-yard line. It's an awkward angle, but it's good. With this being a close game, we will jump in to start the following drive with a shotgun look. Milton. He will go across the middle, big strike, shaking a tackle, shaking a second. Not going to get through the following 2. But a big play to Elijah Moore, about a gain of 20. Then changing up the look to follow with a I form as we go Gibson, a little bit of some power running, and he will pick up 9. Now it's good for his average on the day, makes it about 3 yards per. Not the best, but we'll take it at this point. Though he gets swallowed up, he breaks through, trucking through his own lineman. He's still rumbling down to the 21. Use the blockers to set up your lane, and if you've got to, they are your lane apparently. 1st and 10. Milton, no step back, throws 2 more, and they do give him a short gain, 3 yards. Always like the forward progress, helps us out a little bit. Tight single back set, Gibson looking for a lane, and smack down, no gain. David with a clobbering hit. Leaves 3rd and 7 as we approach the 3-minute mark here. We are inside field goal range, need a field goal to tie. Going up top, we've got the 1st down DK. And with just about half a yard to get another fresh set of downs, I would love to start chewing a little bit of clock here if we can, though obviously want to come away with a lead. As we get it to the running back, about a gain of 1. Bradbury crashes on it pretty quickly. So 2nd and 9. Inside 2.5 minutes left. Sticking with a tight look here. Fake the draw. Milton under pressure rolls and doesn't get rid of it, though he stays on his feet. Then he gets rid of it. All right then, 3rd and 9 still. Oh, very close to 3rd and forever. Again, we could get just inside the 1 with a fresh set of downs. Milton under pressure. He rolls and throws it away. We will have to settle for a game-tying field goal. Did well to drive down here, just didn't finish the drive. That has been the problem, finishing games. But we level it. With 2:09 on the clock. It's an all-new ball game, just a very short one. If we don't send this one to OT, across the middle, broken up. I believe Alexander Johnson applying the hit there on McBride. 2nd and 10, that play took just 4 seconds. Hurts back across the middle, Tank Dell getting hit again, Johnson. Oh, this time he sends us inside the 2-minute warning with a 3rd and 6. 2 up top for Hurts. He will look to throw. He's got time. Gets around Sam Williams. He will scramble, picking up the 1st down and a lot more. getting out at the 40, might be field goal range. A kicker here for the Colts is O'Doyle, I believe. No idea what his range is. But any yards further gained will just put him more and more into that area. As Hurts checks down, finds Bijan, who will get by Dantzler, not by DJ Jones. Eventually finds the suplex. 2nd and 4 with 2 tied up top. Hurts. Again, he's got some time. He will step up and run. Sliding down a hit still given by Dantzler. With a 3rd and 2 at the 32, we've starting to call our timeouts, feeling like we might need some time to answer. Pistol look here. They go Robinson, 1st down by about half a yard. No, they don't give him the 1st? I guess they say he bounced off the belly of the lineman and then lost the forward progress? I don't know. Again, we might be getting helped out by Madden. O'Doyle nails it. So with a minute 20, we are down 3 points, 1 timeout in our back pocket. We need at least the field goal to tie. Milton, hard count, no one jumps. Got to have some clean throws. As DK gets bumped coming across, they still look for him. High pass is a safe pass. And with all the speed, athleticism, and the arm strength of Milton, might be a good idea to try to stretch the field a little bit here. While still looking for the safe throw. Milton down the field, off the mark for more. Obviously sitting in 4 down territory. 3rd and 10 here. Hard count again, no one jumps. Keep trying to find those easy yards. Get this one out to Base, who will get 5. And they're still going to need another 5 here. Inside a minute. Under center. Milton hard count again. Not getting anyone to jump. And Hyatt picks up the 1st down. Timeout called there. Their final one. So now you've got to be safe with the play calls. Got to get out of bounds or get back to the line quickly. A tight shotgun look here. As Milton throws, he finds Hyatt, who will turn up and get out of bounds at the 38. Should be in range now. Elliott has himself a pretty decent leg. And it looks like our marker here is actually at the 42. So definitely inside range. Just got to be smart about it. As DK, he gets the diving grab and out of bounds. End up making that 2nd and inches as we sit at the 28. Sticking with a tight look here. Trying to look for some simple plays. Coming across once again is Hyatt, who will turn up and get out at the 11. 21 seconds. Not looking for anything risky. Milton started off the drive a little bit shaky, but he's found his groove here. Again, hard count. Not able to get anyone to jump. Backside. Finding the catch, and again, quickly getting out is Hyatt. They now sit at the 8. 2nd and 6. Quick throw to the outside is no good. Mingo not able to keep the feet in bounds. So 3rd and 6, 13 seconds. Got to look for a touchdown here. And Milton is denied at the 1. And he loses the game. Going for the winner. He was so close. And these are the exact kind of close games where we haven't been able to finish it. Opportunities there, 100%. Just a devastating way for that one to finish. Again, so close. Did we at least find anything good from this game? I know you didn't hit the goal we set. That's okay. So no, nothing really good from that standpoint. But perhaps it's opened the door here for Joe Milton. He put his team on his back. He tried to carry them in. Perhaps if he could do a little bit more here, we can make something happen. He's earning some XP from that game, but nothing exactly comes from that. So he tried to win the game for us. Coach recognizes that. Maybe that's what that little cutscene's for. Kind of seems a little half empty. But as we now sit bottom of the AFC South with Indy getting that win, we're going to start to jump through a couple games at a time here, start to move through the season to see if we could start putting together some wins. And the first sim does not go well for us. Our first 2-score loss on the season, 34-24 against the Chiefs. 3 touchdowns for Jordan Love. Milton struggled in this one. 2 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, 63% complete. So even when he has a bad game, it's still a better completion percentage than honestly even some of my games. 3.5 for Gibson. He did have a touchdown. Eckler also had one. Receiving wise, we struggled against Olave. He had a touchdown. Hyatt continues to lead us. And then Metcalf, 5 catches, 59 yards, did get a touchdown. We did give up 1 to Paris Campbell. Defensively, our leading tackler was Deo, and he got the 3 TFLs in this game. So he didn't get it last week, and then he got everything this week, including a sack. And it was the only sack we had. As for the interceptions, they both went to Dre Greenlaw. So he just kept those passes probably too short. But because of that performance from Deo, once again, he has an opportunity to see another debut. Now, 3 tackles, 1 TFL. I would imagine he could get that, especially if he just has all the TFLs, then he gets the 3 tackles as well. We'll stick with that goal for him as well. And now we're finally getting the second part to that Joe Milton breakout thing that was an actual breakout. Felt like everything was coming together this past week, could have gone a lot better. So nothing gained, even though it didn't tell us that we could have gained anything. Not exactly sure how to take that, but it is what it is, Madden being Madden. Let's upgrade some players, because typically I do this off recording. And we've got quite a few here to actually go through, the top 2 of which being our 2 rookie offensive linemen. So that is good. Now for Jeff Clinton here, he's already sitting at a pretty good spot when it comes to his power. Let's just start to increase every now and then a little bit of that agile. I want to get that at least into the 70s. And for him, we will get +1 to a lot of different ratings, including both the finesse blocking as well as 1 for run block and pass block. Now, as for Seth Covington, you can't really exactly fix his bad parts together. You got to choose either power or finesse. We're going to stick with power for him. I just like power offensive linemen. But he will get +1 to pass block, 2 for run block, so his run blocking will improve, and then 1 for each of the power. Next up is Dylan Parham. Starting at center this year, I want to say he's actually a true guard. We'll go with power for him, because again, just like the power, we get a big boost here. 3 for run block, 2 for pass block, and pass block power. They're also going to tack 1 on to lead blocking. He is 26 years old, and his ratings definitely could have used that boost. Those boosts did not help us against the Chargers. Our worst game of the season, 28-6. We only managed 2 field goals. Milton, no touchdowns. He threw another pick, though 71% complete. So, well, he's thrown picks the last couple games. The completion percentage is actually doing pretty well. Pickett, and this one did have 3 touchdowns, but 76% complete. So some of these games are just all over the place, and well, that's probably why we struggled. Nick Chubb averaged 7 yards a rush on us. He did have a touchdown. Gibson, no touchdowns, 3.1. Receiving chase went off on us. Yeah, we just have too many guys going off on us. We give up 2 touchdowns to Noah Brown as well. Hyatt leads us with 6 catches, 68 yards, and then a few more catches down the line for some of these guys, but we just need a little bit more here. Now, some good could come if we see anything good in this TFLs and tackles. No TFLs at all for us. In fact, our guy, where is he at here? All he managed was 2 tackles and a sack, which, why that didn't count as a tackle for a loss, I don't know. But he still would have needed 3 tackles, so there is no boost again here for Deo. And hitting week 8, where teams are supposed to get better throughout a season, we've progressively gotten worse. We had our first 2-score loss against the Chiefs, then at least 3 against the Chargers, now 45-17 against the Browns. We at least scored offensively this game, but we're still not seeing anywhere near the success. Joe Milton is starting to have a lot more interceptions, continuous. We give up 5 touchdowns to Baker Mayfield, and plus Milton went under 60% complete. Rushing the ball, we are massively struggling, and stopping the run, we do give up a touchdown to Williams. Gibson did get in the end zone, but it's on 2.3 yards a carry. Receiving, we finally at least have a big game for Metcalf, but it's just 3 catches. I'll take the 101. and a touchdown. But Godwin went 110 and a touchdown. Myers went 75 and a touchdown. Rondale Moore, 2 touchdowns on us. And Otten, another touchdown. We did at least finally get a sack here from Sam Williams, and we started to get a few more TFLs in this game. Johnson and Barrett, plus Deo and Johnson. But we're just not doing near enough here, like what we saw earlier in the season. Our offense has started to drop down the boards. We were 11 just a handful of weeks ago. Defense is now dead last in the NFL. So on every category, we have regressed. And considering we are currently the lowest rated team in the NFL, I think it's time again to start focusing towards the next season. And that includes getting a lot of these young players out there so they can develop, taking the older guys who are only going to be here maybe this year or next year off the field, as their ratings are probably going to regress as well. So moving forward throughout the rest of the season, this is what it looks like. Offensively, nothing really changes. The only difference is we're going to see Mingo and Tillman have a little bit more playing time. Elijah Moore, he's now going to be like wide receiver 5, though he will be second in the slot. Hyatt's still going to be the main guy there. The big shakeup is on defense, and we got to start talking about one player in particular, as it is found out superstar X Factor for the rookie and Mike Golson. So that was a great pick for us. He's coming in now with shutdown as his X Factor ability, as well as strip specialist. So hopefully he's just going to provide a lot more turnovers for this defense, get the ball back to our offense, let them go to work. To help him try to do that, Alontae Taylor will start at the other outside corner spot, and we're going to see Richardson play in the slot. Defensive line wise, Crumity and Deo are going to be our DTs. Williams on the outside with Johnson on the other side. Linebackers are changing as well. Watson is going to be like the main guy for this group, and we're going to start to see a little bit of that safety that we drafted, turning him into a linebacker in Woods. Campbell will also see some playing time in the base packages. At safety, we have Anthony at strong, and we are keeping Theo Jackson over at free. And they'll get a pretty easy start in comparison to what it could have been with a 3-3 Los Angeles Rams team at home. And it will be offense out first. Again, not much of a shakeup here because the group is really good, and if we're going to see any improvement here for Milton, he needs his best targets out there. He starts to Dawson Knox, who we did not have in that first game. He was out with an injury, so it was the rookie in base who got the start. I would love to see maybe a little bit more balance in terms of getting the running game going. That might help out Milton. The whole offense not relying on him. But we're not opening the lanes all too much. But with a 3rd and 2, I would love to see us be able to rely on the running game here. Instead, it's a spin around pass, and he didn't pick up the first down. Gibson had all the space for it. He just simply didn't take the right angle. We're going to keep the offense out here because, well, we're 1-6. Why not? Gibson down the middle. He follows his blocks and bursts through up to the midfield line. Perhaps some more blocking like that, and we'll be able to move the ball more efficiently on offense. Back down the middle. Gibson with another first down, though the ball pops out late, and the Rams take over. Well, it was looking like a great play. Unfortunately, it doesn't finish a great play. How about the side, then, that we did shake up a lot? Can the defense start to make some plays, make a name for some of these young guys? The handoff down the middle and going for a gain of 6. Campbell gets the stop. Kenny Walker, though, coming off one heck of a game. Probably will look to do the same against our, for the most part, pretty weak defense. Play action. And deep downfield, caught in double coverage. I believe that was the 2 safeties. Can't be allowing that, especially against Patrick Mahomes here. I mean, it's a really good 3-3 Rams team. They got a lot of good players. Pass across the middle, going for another first down. I'm sure Mahomes loves going against 60 some odd overall players. 1st and goal as they do get inside the 10. Looking for another pass. And how is that a touchdown first off? Most off, I guess second number's not exactly lining up. How was that not picked off? Just watch here. I mean, right in between the 2 linebackers, Watson has made much better plays than that. Oh, definitely not the start we were looking for, and Kyle Duggar gets a pick. So already another interception here for Milton. And a touchdown the very next play. Now, they did have the field or the extra point blocked last time, so I imagine 2-point try here. No, they just go ahead and take the 13-point lead because they don't imagine that we're going to be able to score. Am I starting to believe the same thing? Well, maybe. Is it time to perhaps see the rookie quarterback? I think if we don't start to score, well, maybe. Don't get me wrong. I think Milton has had some great games throughout our time here, but ultimately we got to win a Super Bowl within 5 years. If he can't do that, someone else might. Perhaps if we start to put a little bit of that pressure on him, he'll start to correct things. Maybe he's gotten a little bit too comfortable in his role. Play action. Milton was going to roll towards the top. Lofting pass. He finds DK just shy of the end zone. I don't want to harp on Milton too much because even while he's played bad, completion percentage has been good. It's just a couple bad decisions as it's through Knox's hands. You could say it got knocked out. Not my best pun, but we're going to rock with it. 2nd and goal. 2 up top as one of them comes in motion. Fake it to him down the middle. No gain. Talked about trying to improve the power for our offensive line, and well, we clearly still need a little bit more of it. 3rd and goal. Milton finds his target this time. Jalin Hyatt. He's got to be the MVP of this season. Only guy who's played consistently at a pretty high level. And on the following drive, a 36-yard touchdown for Cooper Kupp. So the Rams are still very much staying in front. But following a 25-yard grab on a 3rd and 15, Jonathan Mingo has the offense trying to answer back. It's Gibson getting stuffed down the middle. We talked about there being some offensive line talent in this next draft class. Well, we might need that, or really hope we could find some key guys in free agency. As we do get Knox to the outside here, a little tight end bubble screen down to the 4. Honestly, whatever plays work, yeah, let's throw it all out there. Everything but the kitchen sink. 2 down the bottom, 1 up top, and a tight shotgun look here. Milton looking for a touchdown, as he will find it coming across just as he did last year. Given the opportunity, Jonathan Mingo strikes. And as we have seen, the real problem is the defense. The offense finally started to put some things together. It's the defense that's not getting the stops. They give it up on 3rd down. 6 more goes to Cooper Kupp. 7 more with a 1st down goes to Kenny. Throw away by Mahomes. And a 1st down following a gain of about 15. They're inside the 30. We talked about having that new X factor out at corner, though it looks like he just has the superstar tag. Mahomes throws out of the sack. I believe that was Crumity with the quick pressure. Yeah, up at the top. It's a superstar. It's not an X factor, so not sure what's happening there. Again, Mahomes out of the sack. That time, Johnson. The line bows up here for the defense, and honestly, that might be one of the strongest groups out there right now, at least in terms of overall promising young talent. Reichert widens the lead. Now down by 9. Heading towards halftime here. We got 1:41. We're jumping out here with the offense. And we'll look to go with the check down here to Dawson Knox. Going to run a little bit of some hurry up. A lot of tight ends out there. We've got 2 promising guys, Knox and Bass. See if we can get them well going as we go back to Knox here, who's at the 40. A little bit of speed from him. He's down and out at the 25. The passing game is where this offense will strive. We just got to be able to consistently hit on it. As Milton will look to throw yet again. He goes with a check down out to Gibson, who will bounce off of 1, and he gets out with a gain of 7. We've seen Milton be able to handle these 2-minute drives pretty easily. Just got to make sure we finish this one off, and maybe a 2-point try could be necessary. Hyatt with the catch. Just try to get us as close to possible to tying this game. 50 seconds and counting. Setting up the halfback screen, just getting it out to Gibson with some blockers. We missed one with Royce Newman. If he did hit it, probably a touchdown. Instead, we'll go back at it the next play and into the end zone this time. Gibson caps off a strong 2-minute drive to pull us within 1 score. And we will end up taking the extra point, making this 23-21 as we look to get through halftime without giving up any more points. But we do give up 11 on the first play. 14 to Curtis Samuel on the next play. They do have one timeout. Dropped Zay Jones. 12 seconds left. Knocked away by Richardson. He's the new slot corner. 11 gets the first down, though they are out of time. So we head into the start then of the second quarter. Defense still out on the field. We need a stop here as Justice Hill picks up 3. 13 goes to Cooper Kupp, giving up too many 10-plus yard plays. 22, yeah, that's even worse. Trying to keep this just a 2-point game. 22 yards doesn't help as they get about 2 yards inside the 30. Play action here for Mahomes. He's got his X factor, lofting and tipped away. Trying to find Cooper Kupp on that one, just a little bit too short. Good play from the secondary for the 2nd and 10. They got the receiver in motion towards the top, and they will leak it out to the tight end. I believe that is Conklin. He will not get the first down, however. 3rd and inches. The bunch up top, one lone to the bottom. Mahomes, again, got his receiver in motion. They get 2 down to the bottom. And then they go with a outside run. It's swallowed up. Sam Williams, the first to arrive, will force another Reichert field goal. This is not his rookie year, now his 2nd year. He'll extend the lead. Will our offense be able to capitalize on this opportunity? Take a lead. Well, we've got an early 3rd down here. Needing 3, we just get 2. And as mentioned earlier, at 1 and 6, there is not much for us to lose here, so might as well go for it. Offense coming out just inside our own 40. Get some good blocks. No. Will be a turnover on downs. If we're to make anything of this season, well, those are the kind of plays we've got to have. Penalty on Taylor. Gets him all the way down inside the 10. 5 yards, Justice Hill. And then a touchdown the very next play. So they have re-widened this one. Now they go up by 12. We still have over a quarter left. We're not out of time. 12 yards there from DK. 3 to Gibson. 2nd and 7. We get 5. 3rd and 2. We get 6. Keeping this drive moving then. Dropped by Knox. 2nd and 10. Gibson picks up 3. And we enter the 4th quarter with a 3rd and 7. And it's a penalty to make it 3rd and 17. And we get sacked. 4th and 21. Yeah, we got a punt on that. No way we're going for that. Touchback as well. So now we really need some big plays here from the defense. Penalty on Williams, not going to help us out. They've already had plenty of success moving the chains as they've got a 3rd and 2. Trying to do that yet again. They will with Kenny. As we move inside, 6 minutes left. They're well inside plus territory, taking their time. Throw away. 4th and inches. Knocked away. All right. Maybe there's a chance. With not much time left in this one, 5 minutes, we need at least 2 touchdowns here. So let's jump on out here and try to find some points rather quickly. As we go Knox to the outside, good cut. Joe Milton, a smooth 18 of 22 passing today. Again, the passing game is where it's at. I think we've started to include just a little bit more in terms of running the ball. Not able to get that pass off cleanly. And perhaps it is running the ball more that is slowing down the offense. When we've been watching these games, we've been a lot more pass heavy. Though that was an awful read from whoever was controlling Milton. Should never have thrown that one. And with it, we might be out of opportunity. And indeed, that would be the case. Rams would go on to tack on some more points. It's another 40 bomb this defense have given up. But at least it's now the backups doing it and not the original starters. Still expect more from this team. But in week 12, the boys would finally snap their 9-game losing streak, 27-24 over the Raiders. In this one, Milton he is struggling this stretch, which is just purely strange. I don't know where it came from. We did get a pick on Tua. Rushing, Gibson had a big game, 5.2 and a touchdown. Mixon also had a pretty good game against us, but Milton did rush in a touchdown, so there is that. That does give him 2 touchdowns to 1 turnover. Receiving wise, Metcalf went over 100, did have a touchdown. We did give up 2 touchdowns to Ayuk. Hyatt, only 2 catches in this one, so it really was DK and not much else. But the line apparently played pretty well. No TFLs given up. Meanwhile, we had two. One for Mike Golson as well as Sam Williams. Sack-wise, we did get one split. Crumity and Cedric Johnson. We did give one up to Epinesa. As for the picks, it was Nathaniel Watson and one went to Connor. But just as last year, this season has kind of turned into more of a focus on what we could do in the offseason, developing our current players and then adding some key guys. Now, we've already talked a lot about really needing some help when it comes to linebacker. So for choosing our focus players, I want to start to try to dial in on these linebackers. Now, we are only 40% of the way so far for Morgan Pittman, and he's listed as a run stopper. So I would love more information on him. And then there should be a day 3 guy yet, or he actually went up. He's around 3 to 4 now in Austin Branch. He's another run stopper, but with the C block shed, so he just might not have much cover ability whatsoever. And then indeed, Dockery was a pass rusher. Now for our final focus scouting, I want to see if we could finish Ethan Webb here. He's top 5, he's 70% complete. I would like to see if he's actually going to finish top 5, because if so, then we might need to also make sure we tank the rest of the season. So we will go ahead and select those 3 to be our first focus scouts. And in the following game, which it did end up being a loss, so no win streak, back to losing. We also are losing Royce Newman for the rest of the season. Partial ACL tear, he will head onto IR, and we need to fill his spot in the starting lineup. And it seems like a pretty smart move now then that we did sign Tyree Phillips in the previous offseason. So he's actually going to come in same overall as Newman. He doesn't necessarily have a strength to his game, but it could be worse. And coming off our 3rd win of the season, this one either had some missed extra points or 4 field goals to actually help us win it. We got to check those kicking stats here. Indeed, it was 4 field goals from Jake Elliott. The offense barely managed anything, but the defense held the Cardinals to just 10 points. Even though they had more yards than us, we managed the yards a little bit better. And that's probably in large thanks to the fact that we picked off Bryce Young 3 times in this game. Milton didn't have any interceptions, but he only completed the ball 47% of the time. And it was 2 picks for the X-Factor rookie in Mike Golson. The other went to the other starting corner in Alontae Taylor. And despite the fact that it seemed like it was the DBs who had the better game, it's a breakout chance here for Cedric Johnson. 2 TFLs, I'm not too sure how often he gets TFLs. So let's see what our other options are. 3 tackles on a TFL, just 1 sack, or get a combined tackle for a loss, 2 combined tackle for a loss, sacks, or forced fumbles. We're going to give him a goal of 1 sack, because we haven't gotten too many this season. So with that, we're going to jump into a quarter sim here in the 49ers game and just see if we could, find a win, and maybe see if we could also see a sack. 49ers do hold the lead after the first and hold it into the second, growing the lead here. Though we level it, no one takes the lead before half, though it looked like someone was driving. 10-10. As we head through the 3rd quarter, we do take a lead. 49ers answer, and as the 4th quarter arrives, it is still a tied game. So let's slow things down from here then. 3rd and 8, well, they get 7. That should be a punt forced or a penalty. Do we still get the ball? We do still get the ball. All right, all works out good then. As we're actually starting well into plus territory here. 6 yards for Gibson, 3rd and 4, incomplete pass. We will settle for the lead here, which we get it. Field goal from Jake Elliott. Moving into the following drive here for the 49ers, I would love to see a sack for Johnson. As Gibbs ends up picking up 9, they do need a field goal to tie, and it's a sack for Williams. Needed it from the other edge, as they do still get the first down following 15 to Pearsall. I think that's what the name said. Honestly, I didn't read it before I skipped it. Complete guess then. First down as Ben Griffin rushes it. They did select him, I want to say, 1st overall, perhaps? I feel like they went after a quarterback early on. We get another first down there inside the red zone. We will jump in. They're a few yards away, and that will do it. What about now? Can Johnson make the play? He wears 53, I believe. I don't currently see him out there. 52, he was actually out there, but it's a lead for the 49ers. What a pass. So despite trying to focus more on the defense, now we got to watch an offensive drive here. As we start play action, Milton under pressure. He finds Mingo with a gain of 6. Still believe this is an offense that can run 4 or 5 receivers deep. I just feel like for some reason we started to shift more towards run focus while I was wanting some balance. Clearly, we don't do as well running the ball. I'm thinking maybe like a 70-30 split in favor of passing. 3rd and 2, I wouldn't mind a drop back here. That's indeed what we're going to go with. Play action. We find the first down. There goes Hyatt into plus territory down at the opposite 40. I imagine he is leading our receivers by a good few hundred yards just because he seems to be very much the #1 target for us. Milton going back across the middle, this time DK. Can't say numbers-wise that he's been the #1 receiver as we do hit the 2-minute warning. But he definitely provides some help to Hyatt. You gotta sometimes double cover DK, leaves things a little bit more easier for Hyatt. As that's where we go. Basically sent DK on the streak route to open up the corner. Smart play calls from the OC. As now we drop under center here. 1st and 10, play action under pressure. Touchdown to Hyatt. We retake a lead here inside 2 minutes left. Still a field goal game though. As that now will force the 49ers to have to get down the field a little bit more. Look at 52. He's top interior. Not sure why he's playing interior line. Perhaps that'll help him out in some pass rush though. Guards not always the best pass blockers. But we're trying to play a little bit of some spoiler as well here. As the 49ers are 8-5, they're fighting for playoff positioning. Good hit. Do give up the first. I believe that was Campbell. As they'll go with some delayed play action. Open receiver out of bounds at the 40. And now Crumedy, not Crumedy, Deo. He's actually a bit banged up and will head off the field. Meanwhile, a booth review is also coming in here. We'll take a second look, and by all means, that seems like a first down to me, so we'll go ahead and expedite that, and they concur. So 49ers about in field goal range. Field goal needed to tie. They got 2 up top. Going to the bottom, though, tight end, jarred free. Good hit. I believe 33 is Richardson? Could be wrong on that. It might be one of the safeties. Honestly, couldn't tell you for sure. I'm about 70% positive. Check down throw here. Goes for a gain of 7. Griffin has 3 touchdowns on the day. The quarterback here for the 49ers. So does our quarterback. Whoever might hit that 4th could end up being the winner here today. Down the field, and it just got by Golson. He went for the pick. Instead, Rashee Rice gives the Niners the lead. 1:01 left on the clock. And honestly, while I'm perfectly fine losing this game, because again, I want to make sure we could still get that offensive lineman. Also want to win some games here. Milton, can he find a big play? How about Hyatt across the middle? Drops in too late. He put too much on it, and that'll probably be game. And indeed it would be. Defense couldn't get a stop to give us one last opportunity. Threw that one away, but maybe that was intentional. Or maybe it wasn't and it was actually just a bad throw. Either way, we're looking for some silver lining here. Johnson, did he get the play? Good job up front in that game. You looked good. This is promising. You're a star in the making. I believe that. That should mean, don't give me any more words, we do get the star dev for Cedric Johnson. That's a big boost for this defensive line because it needed it. We will look to finish off this season after this game as we will jump through yet another quarter sim. First quarter comes to an end 3-3. Jacksonville takes the lead. We answer back 10-10. And before halftime, Jags take the lead and hold it. 17-10 as we'll go through the third quarter as well. Jags now up by 10. Fourth quarter arrives. We'll slow things down here. I just want to see some fun play from some of these young guys here to wrap out the season. I don't care if we win or lose as we do give up the first down there, because obviously we have that top 5 offensive lineman. Even if he ends up dropping, I would love to trade back and get some better capital for the future. 2nd and 6, we do give up 12 to T-Hawk. Penalty on Watson, that's not going to help us out. Knocked away by Watson, so he's trying to make up for it as they are down around the 30. Then a penalty on Connor Williams. It's 2nd and 15. Forward to Mechie, 3rd and 11. Drop by Troy Franklin. It will be a field goal though. So they do go up essentially by 2 touchdowns as we've got a little under 4.5 minutes left. But why not? Let's jump out here for at least one more offensive possession. Looks like Knox down at the bottom, 2 receivers up top. As we swing it out quickly, DK from the backfield, he'll pick up 4. I still think this offense has plenty of talent to make it to the playoffs and see a good run. We need a cleaner year from Joe Milton. And honestly, if he has some better defense to help, as I say cleaner game, he then fumbled. So I guess we're going to see a little bit more defense. And as I was saying, I do believe there is a lot of talent there. Defense needs a big inflection of talent as we get the pick. There is a penalty though. Gonna have to check that first. DPI though on who? And it's on us. That's coming back, no pick. Rather unfortunate. It was the rookie safety turn linebacker. Just put a hit in on too early, it appears. Handoff down the middle, gains 3. Jacksonville 11 and 5. They won the division last year. We'll check after this game to see if they've made it 2 years in a row, because if so, then we know who we have to go after, and that would be the Jags. 2nd and 7. They got the receiver in motion as they get it out to him. That looked a lot like a play we saw quite often from the Dolphins. Works to perfection. This game's definitely going in the hands of the Jags. Why not? Let's jump out here with the offense then. Nothing to lose. Last few plays here of season 2 as Milton will look to scramble. This time he gets down safely. Now, one thing I did do, I believe at the start of this episode, was actually change scheme. And that scheme does not align perfectly with our playbook. Luckily that was dropped. But as I was saying, yeah, the new scheme doesn't match the playbook, and I'm wondering if that is the downfall of this season, just not having the same scheme as your playbook. Good catch there from Knox. That's definitely something I'm going to take a good look into for the next season. As we are inside the 2-minute warning here, we go back to Hyatt. He's just been so good. That's a little bit of a late hit. I would have imagined that DK would have a little bit more of a say in this offense, but I really don't feel like that's been the case. If anything, he's been a little bit more of like a smoke screen as Hyatt gets another grab. Great placement as well from Milton. Put that where only his receiver was going to get it, boxing out the corner in the process. Across the middle, little bump there from the coverage. Was inside 5 though, so not going to call for a penalty because technically that is clean. Hard count from Milton, no one jumps. As he'll go with a check down this time. Gibson gets the catch, but only picks up 2. With a 3rd and 8, we got 2 downs here to find the end zone. He's got Milton going deeper downfield, though we are going to shorten that route a little bit. Get him towards that back pylon a little bit more cleanly. And out for him, one more touchdown to wrap up the season. Ending on a high note is what we like to do around here. Jalin Hyatt caps off what should be a fantastic season. Unfortunately for a team as a whole, it really wasn't. In fact, I think we might have regressed a little bit from season 1. And we'll check again with that scheme versus the playbook into next season. The year finishes and we were the 30th ranked offense, 32nd defense. So just looking at that in general, yeah, the team definitely did regress. And Joe Milton did not have as good of a second half of the season as we saw in his rookie year. He finishes just shy though of 4,000 passing, 23 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, 63% complete. So really the second half really was a struggle for him. I would like to see if we could get a game-by-game breakdown here, if that is possible. And indeed, we can. Just had to find the right menu. So, starting off this season, he did have an interception in week 1, none in the week 2, so it was kind of a little bit back and forth, but then he went on a stretch here, week 5 through week 8, where he had at least 1 pick, but pretty much was averaging 2 picks a game. Then week 9 through week 13, a pick per game. And had that same scenario week 15 through week 17. As for the yardage total, he did have the occasional bad game where he was around 140 passing yards. But there were also some really good games. So this was his inconsistent year. I still think there's the talent there to lead this team. Rushing the ball wise, Antonio Gibson, 3.5, 11 touchdowns. He did have a fumble. Milton ran the ball in 3 more times, had 1 fumble. And Evans barely had any carries this year. That was kind of expected with the total rushing here of Gibson. I do want to check though, if we did just start to hand the ball off more later on in the season, because there was around this midway point that we definitely saw the numbers increase. I mean, week 1, 9 carries, week 3, only 3. Then around a week 11 or so, it did spike up. He was above 15 per. Week 12, he was at 23. Week 15, and then the last few games where the offense started to perform better, again, we lowered outside of week 16 against the Texans. We lowered the total amount of rushing. So I do think that's the path forward. 70% passing, just running when we absolutely have to. And with a season like this from Jalin Hyatt, I think we need to see a whole lot more from him. DK was even quietly almost at 1,000 yards. Hyatt ends just short of 1,300, only 5 touchdowns though, so he was more of the setup guy. DK seemed to cap things off. Knox, pretty solid season, nothing spectacular. Mingo in about half the snaps as what Hyatt and even DK saw. If you want to double that, you're looking at around another 900 receivers, so things are looking pretty good there. I'm honestly wondering if Elijah Moore becomes a player we could look to trade, because after Mingo, we do also have Tillman. He didn't see much or really any playing time this season, but last year in the time he did have, he looked pretty good. So there is a player that we could look to trade if we need to fill in a spot, maybe on the defense. Blocking wise, it wasn't a great year from Seth Covington. He allowed about a sack a game. Though for our other rookie in Jeff Clinton, really good season, he allowed just 3 sacks all season. Wish we got some better stats for run blocking. I wish there was like win percentage for run blocking at least. Defensively, Nathaniel Watson, nearly 100 tackles on the year, so that's really good for his development. TFL's Deo really showed up, 18. Sam Williams also in the double digits. But I believe with Deo moving forward, we're going to move him to DT. I just think that's going to be a better fit for him. As for sacks, again, it wasn't a big year for us. 5.5 leads the team. Deo had 3 as well as Crumity. I believe the future at DT, at least on roster right now, is Deo and Crumity. 2.5 for Johnson. He didn't get to see that much playing time, but hopefully we'll see more from him. The rookie in Golson, 3 interceptions as well as Taylor. So the tandem out there actually looked pretty good. Oren Burks had 2, but he had that within the first handful of games. Dantzler and Watson also had a pick. Rounding it off with kicking, for the most part, it was a pretty good year. We did miss 1 extra point and 1 field goal with Jake Elliott. So next time out, we'll get through another off season and we'll kick off season 3. And indeed, Ethan Webb is a top 5. So it's probably pretty good that we didn't win some of those close games, because he might be falling into our laps, which we might desperately need. And just take a quick preview at what a top 5 tackle looks like. 21 years old out of Mississippi State. He only has solid to decent strength, so he's not much of any sort of power guy. But the run blocking is still really good. Pass blocking is really good. Only thing negative for him is stamina. Injury's even solid, so depending, maybe Tunsil could shade down to guard, or maybe Tunsil even gets traded for future capital. We'll see what happens next time. And to make sure you see how this 4-13 handles their next offseason, you got to hit that bell icon down below and tap either the bear icon or the sub button so you stick around. And as mentioned, we were going to check, indeed, Jacksonville wins the division 2 years in a row. So we're going to add talent as much as possible, and then we're going to go after the Jags come season 3.